Good. What made you come to Australia? I mean, what were the reasons behind your decision to come to Australia?
Many memories back. First of all, when I grew up and I found myself, in a position to think what I'm going to do in the future, I decided to do some small business in Greece with a partnership. But depression again in Greece, like it's today, it happens many times. We ran out of work.
What was the business?
It was a small confectionery. And we didn't work very well for 2 years. We went broke, ran out of work, go from Patras to Athens to get a job through connections, through this, through that. And I couldn't get them anywhere. So I decided to immigrate to another country, like a lot of other kids did.
So why did you choose Australia?
Because that's the only place, days I went to immigration officer, that was taken only for Australia. It was Rhodesia before, Rhodesia, it was Canada, it was closed, it was America was closed, it wasn't taken, and it was only Australia that were taking a lot of people.
You said you went to the office and asked. Is that how you did it?
And I saw a lot of people outside the immigration on the street, and I asked them what it's all about, and they said, immigrate to Australia. And I was desperate for anything I could do, And I went inside the office, and lucky enough I found an old friend from Patras at the office, and I asked her to give me a favor to push me through, just because it was, she did that. And I had to do English classes for 6 months, and I'd done it only for 3 weeks, because I knew some, And finally, I got the passport ready in 3 weeks' time, to immigrate to Australia. In the meantime, from Patras, I had a connection with my dear wife here. We were good friends.
Oh, so you were friends?
We were friends from Patras, yeah. When I had the little business there, the small shop.
So you knew Christina?
I knew Christina from there.
Young.
And she was my angel. Every time we passed from outside the shop, I was waiting. And she my angel, with the plexudes and all. It's necessary to speak English.
No, if you want to speak in Greek, speak.
Okay, I'll speak. Forgive me if I miss some.
No.
So, and when I left from Patras to go to Athens to look for a job and immigrate, I said to Christina, sorry my love, this is it, we have to separate. And one day, who knows? Anyway, 3 weeks time, I have to come to Australia. The second week, I went to immigration to check my passport, and guess who I found inside the immigration?
Christina.
Christina ready with passport to come to Australia. Listen to this.
Coincidence. Fate.
Destiny. Destiny, We say goodbye, and all of a sudden, Christina's ready. And when I saw Christina, she said, give me the passport, and I went inside to my friend, to the office, and I said, Sophia, 2 hearts in 1 shoe. This girl is my sweetheart. Is there any possibilities can put us in the same?
Sure.
He said, come tomorrow, and I'll let you know. I went tomorrow over there, and he said, guess what? I said, what? He said, 2 people from your group, they're not coming. So we got place for Christina, And then we traveled together, we came here to Australia together.
Can I ask you, you left from Patras to go to Piraeus, you left from Piraeus?
Yes, because when I ran out of work in Patras, my two sisters, they found a job in Athens, some third cousins, they had manufactured biscuits. They used to call them Royal biscuits anyway. And they used to employ a lot of girls on the production line, you know, just to pack their things. And my two sisters, they got a job there. So I said to my mom, we can't stay anymore in Patras, you might as well I take you to Athens and join your two other kids. And I see and I took my family to Athens. So since I left to Australia, my family, the rest of the family live in Athens. My mother passed away 5 years ago now.
Tell me, how difficult was it leaving your family behind?
For me, I tell you what, I don't want to go back to my childhood life because I had a very bad childhood life. My first impression, you know, just when I decided to, I used to love my family deeply, you know, because I started working for 14 years old to support my family for that, you know. But inside me, if you ask me, I didn't know my father because I was 5 years old. And my mother, it was a widow with the 4 kids. And during the war, she used to put the kids to my brother's houses, you know, to support because she wasn't able to. And we didn't have very much childhood life even with my mother. So I was very deeply sorry to leave them behind but I had no choice. I had no other choice, I tell you that. And I thought, if I go there, am I able to support them from there, you know? And we used to do that, even Christina used to do it. Every month, we used to put a little bit on the side.
We send money
Send
there because
to mom, you know, to sisters, support them and all this kind of thing. That was my...
Tell me, when you were seeing that, when you were on the ship and you were seeing Piraeus becoming more and more distant, what was passing through your head? Were you saying you were going to return one day? What was going through your mind?
I was...
definitely, yes.
When I saw the Piraeus getting distance from me and go deeply, I didn't feel sorry I leave Piraeus. I felt sorry I leave my people behind. And I said I don't want to come back to this country again. Then I was saying that. But when I came here, after 1 year, everything started missing, you know, in my mind. All my friends, I had very good friends, you know.
Tell me, the Queen Frederica, was it a very luxurious liner? Was it a very...
It was a battleship
Was
before they make it a cruiser. And it was Queen Frederica, it was a battleship, frigate, something like that. And then after the war, it went too old and they make it a cruiser, you know, just a luxurious cruiser. And through the World Council of Churches, they done that group, 1,200 people, you know, from Salonika, Patras, and Athens. And Queen Frederica, he donate the ship for free for that particular group, you know, because it was through World Council of Churches, the men, they used to call him, and he gave us the ship to come.
Do you have fond memories of the journey?
Yeah. A lot of memories. In a journey, as you know, you can make friends you can make enemies, you can make,
What?
you know. But I had a Christina with me, and always we had a good time together, you know. We used to go to the deck and everything. When we reached the Indian Ocean, the ship went to a whirlpool storm for 3 nights and 3 days. We were going around and around and around. The helicopters that were flying on top, they couldn't do nothing. Another Russian ship, it was a bit further, couldn't do nothing. No one could go near to that ship. It was all SOS, you know, for 3 nights. And finally, maybe the 3rd night, as it was turning around, he got out of the whirlpool, and we come the next morning back to Colombo again.
Ah, so you had to go back to Colombo.
Back to Colombo again. And in one occasion, we were all locked up in cabins. The crew was coming and throw us 1 orange and a biscuit, nothing, and stay inside. So one day I opened the cabin and I said, I'm going to go out. I can't stay anymore. I had Christina with me. Christina came, he had a separate cabin, but in that, say, come with me, whatever happens, we'll be together. The furniture on the cabin, every time the ship was going down, they were going to the other side. The waves, they would overlap the whole ship to the other side of the end. One day, I opened the cabin and I go out. And I went down to see the water. The water was it was the time when the ship was going down, you know. And I said, God, where are we? Everybody was crying. I said, what a bloody bad luck. We shouldn't come to Australia. Should have come to Australia. Really?
He said, my next trip will be with a donkey.
I was saying to Christina, if I go back to Greece, I go by donkey, not by ship anymore. Yeah, I'm traveling. But anyway, back to Colombo. After Colombo.
You have photos in Colombo. What were your impressions of Colombo? Did you find it strange? Did you find it?
We like it.
When we got out of the line, for instance, in Colombo, all the locals they welcomed you, you know, just they tried to sell you something, you know. It was very peaceful place, for instance, you know. After what we went through to
The whirlpool.
Yeah. And actually, I took the boys and we went to the pub and we had a beer for the first time.
In Colombo?
In Colombo, yeah. We went to an English hotel, it was over there. And we had a beer, you know, oh, beautiful. And we had the money power, you know, took us to see the scenery around, you know, the pepper trees they got over there. And it was all right, it was beautiful. And
We've been to the
okay.
Did you find it?
Buddha.
You went to a Buddha temple too, Buddhist temple.
Yeah, Buddhist temple. Yeah.
Very big.
Cool. Yeah.
Did you find all this, like when you stopped at Port Said or when you stopped at Colombo, did you find it strange, like seeing, for example, coloured people for the first time, or τους μαύρους που είδατε για πρώτη φορά, was it strange, was it paradoxal?
No, really, because we were prepared, we go to a different kind of people, different countries, and we had to be prepared to see anything, you know. But the most impressive thing was when we reached Australia and we saw the houses with the tin roofs
Redfern
and small houses like this. Me and Christina said, this is Australia.
Oh my God.
My God. Well,
Redfern and
well, we came here for,
St. Peter.
All the tourist houses, you know. All the tourist-
Yeah.
you know, if in Athens we had beautiful buildings, you know, and 3 stories, 5 stories.
Patras too, nice.
All the houses were tin roof, small houses here. We start crying, you know, just what is going to happen? We were so scared, you know, when we,
Tell me, when you finally arrived in Australia, were you relieved that it was over after the cyclone, after the? Did you
Yeah.
feel relief? Like,
yeah, yeah. When I came out of the ship, I went down the ground, I done my cross, you know. Thanks God I can feel ground, you know. Just and I say I'm not going to get with my ship anymore.
You said that you were sent to Bonegilla,
Yeah.
and Christina went on to Sydney to meet her relatives.
Yes.
So you were separated.
We separated with Christina
For a
in
few
Melbourne
months.
because that's the journey
Ah, all right, okay. Stop there.
stopped there.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to get Christina with me in Bonegilla when she had
Relatives.
relatives already to
In Sydney.
accommodation and all these kind of things. Because we were just by word engagement, you know, not
Ah,
married.
you došli lovo?
Yeah,
No,
just
with my
Yeah.
parents.
Oh, really?
With the
Before
parents.
you left?
before.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, so you had proposed to her.
Oh, yeah.
Already had proposed.
Oh.
We make little
Without that-
party.
And we done
But
that,
no.
you know when? When we met at the immigration office,
You proposed.
I proposed. Her father came, and my mother, we went to, and I said, he said, when my mother saw Christina, he said, yes, 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 my son, because previously in Patras, when I used to get a girlfriend, I used to go, my mother said, Mom, what do you think about this one? No. When I took Christina one day, he said, yes, that's the one. And this is what happened. Yeah.
Right, so you are separated. So Christina goes to Sydney,
Sydney, yeah.
and you go to Bonegilla. What was your first impression of Bonegilla?
It was, the impression in Bonegilla is like you put me back to the Second World War when I was in Greece. You know, and my memory started getting very mixed up, you know. I said, if this is Australia, and all the promises they done to us, with a contract to come here as an electrician, and I finished to go to clean toilets somewhere, you know, some kids, they did that. Because my group, you know, the friends, I had a small group, and they were electricians, they were builders, plumbers, with a qualification, apprenticeship, like me, I've got the apprenticeship there. But when one step here, the apprenticeship wasn't
Valid. They didn't
valid.
recognize it.
He said, I'm sorry, you have to go through refreshment courses, they used to call them. But the refreshment courses, it was for 3 years. And he said, I said to myself, I'm desperate for
Work.
If I go to school for 3 years, he said you can do it part-time, you can do it every night, which is you're going to finish 6 years. You know? I said, hey, te Vasilis. Goodbye, Charlie.
So you spent 3 months in Bonegilla.
So we spent 3 months, and they couldn't find us a job. For 3 months over there, it was like a hell, believe it or not. Until they decide to call some people desperate to work and say you have to get any job is available. And we asked what job is available, he said railways, to work in the railways. I said anything could be better than here, let's go. And we put our names through and we went on the queue. So here comes the inspector, they start checking our muscles, checking your teeth, your eye, Head checking here, yeah, you alright, you alright. So, you know, they're selecting macho men. I wasn't macho man, but I was. And they used to live from Melbourne with a choo-choo train. They used to leave us few in every station, you know. And I finished, it was a station, they call them migrate, something like that, close to Alice Spring and Broken Hill. And they give us a shovel and a pick, start working, extend the lines to a railway. None of the boys, you know, we were skillful to, only one of my group, it was Macedonia, Nick Rangers. He was a very strong boy, and he said, come on, it's only work. We stay here for 1 year or a couple of years, we make some money, we make enough money to buy a house in Greece, not in here, but because the money then from here to Greece, they used to had a good value, you know. 1 Australian dollar, it was over there for 3 Australian dollars worth it, you know what I mean? And when I was coming to Christina, said, if we stay here for 5 years, we make enough money to buy a house in Greece, and we go back. But we didn't know it wasn't that easy. Some.
How long did you stay at Migeri?
Migeri, every night I was over there, it was like 1 year for me. It was
Plus
like,
you had Christine in Sydney too, so.
I had Christina here in Sydney, and we had to correspond with Christina, who post a letter sometimes. Christina says, you come down, and if you want to get out from there, as you said, it's no good, you come to Sydney. We talk to my relatives here, what about our marriage or something like that, and we might find some job to learn. And that's what I decided to escape from the railways. And I said to the boys one night, I'm going. No matter where I'm going to end, but I'm going from here. I can't stand. My hands were all blisters, you know, just every day we used to eat kangaroo with no knowledge. We didn't know we eat kangaroo. Kangaroo meat with a mashed potato. Every day. And the boss used to go with he shoot the kangaroo, skin him off, chop, 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 cook him for everyone, you know. Funny meat, you know, it was red and beaten, but we didn't know. And then one day we saw the skin, you know, the kangaroo, on the garbage bin. And we noticed we eating kangaroo then. And in a matter of fact, it was so many kangaroos over there, you know. One day they had a barbed wire around the camp. And I saw an Aborigine who was sitting over there, was asking for some bread or some fruit, you know. And the boss says, no, don't give it to him. What? Anyway, on the railways we extend the lines. They used to put a wire to protect the lines from the kangaroos, because the train wasn't able to cross, you know, to go with the speed because of the kangaroos. And the kangaroos, they were trying to jump the fence, and they trapped over there. The fence, for miles, it was all skin and skeletons from kangaroos and the wires, you know. And anyway, I escaped from there and I went to Broken Hill. Broken Hill, I found a little bit of help from the locals, the Greeks over there. For a couple of days or 3 days, they give me food, they give me accommodation to have a rest. They offered me to stay there. In a matter of fact, one lady had a coffee shop, and he wants me to stay there to work for her.
To marry her daughter.
She had a daughter, you know, in mind too. But she didn't know I got my angel down here, you know. Just. Anyway, when I came to Sydney, I went at North Sydney, Miller Street. They had a shop there. Before I reached Christina's relatives, it was another Greek shop. They showed me with a suitcase. Hey, Edinas! Ah, yes, Greek. Come. Say what? I said, I'm going to Maragopoulos, Ma. Are you the George with Christine? Say yes. They knew already about me. He said, you come stay and work for me. Don't go to them. They're not good people. Says, stay with me. You know, one Greek to another, the shop. Anyway, I went over there.
Roses. His name was Roses.
Yeah.
George
Roses. Yeah. Anyway,
From Atrata.
I went and introduced myself to Sam, Harry, Maragopoulos over there. They embraced me, they welcomed me, and he say, we know the story with Christina, sooner the better, because there is a lot of takers for Christina. They used to do a lot of proxies, a lot of people was asking for...
Then, 60s, not enough...
Not enough women.
Not enough women here, you know, that's true.
And all the boys, you know, look,
For the immigrants, there was not enough brides, you know.
not enough brides then.
For the Italians and all these.
Tell me, George, what was your first job?
My first job was in a railway when I was in South Australia.
In Sydney. In Sydney?
When I came in Sydney.
Television channel line.
Yeah, when I came in Sydney, lucky enough, one of my friends who were together in Bonegilla, he found a job in the television, Pop Motorola.
Who was your friend? What was his name?
John Callas, the
John
one who
Callas,
we
yeah.
play the band, was he? And he said, John, say I talk to my boss tomorrow. He talked to his boss, say yes. If he's good like you, bring him over. So when I went to Motorola, after the war, when we married with Christina, I took Christina on the line too, on the television. That was my first job.
So what was your job? What did you have to do?
We had to do the assembly, an assembly line.
Why?
They used to put the components.
You know, components, registers.
It was television production.
Soldering.
You know,
The big TV.
the assembly line with the components, and he used to put them in the apparatus cards, the girls, and some soldering at the back with the soldering iron. And it was a filthy job because all the smoke,
All the fumes.
the fumes from the soldering iron, you know, 8 hours a day. But we didn't realize that these days, you know.
With a plan.
And you had the plan, the drawing in front of you. It was telling you instructions
I
what
like
to
it.
do. And
Were there lots of Greeks there?
a lot
A lot of
Greeks,
Greeks.
a lot of Greeks there.
There.
And after
A mix.
after 3 months, because I took the so quick, you know, they put me a leading hand on the line. So I became a leading hand, and I was taking a bit of extra money. And Christmas time, 1970.
Night 60, we married by register.
Yeah.
And a year after, we married in a church.
No, it was after 4 or 5 years.
About
working-
mid-60s. Mid-60s.
Mid-60s, yeah. after 5 years after they
No,
stopped
no.
the production. Now it was after that.
Ah, yeah.
It was 59 we arrived in Australia.
Mm.
It was 65, maybe 50, 55 when we lost the first job.
So tell me, how did that happen? Πώς έγινε?
They done the first production television in Australia, black and white.
Mm.
It was an American company.
Mm.
They done. We used to do these days about 360 television a day production, a lot of production.
Bonus, a lot of
And then-
bonus. Then.
And then another company, it was Healing, start making television. And then another company, and they lost the contract, perhaps, you know, because it was an American company and some other company stepped here. And he said they stop production Christmas time, they give us the long service, whatever, they pass. And we were out of work after that.
Was there a meeting? Did they call you in? And
Yeah.
they said, sorry, there's
Yeah,
no meeting?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Very
Yeah, because
difficult.
these days the union used to work very strongly, you know, around there. And the union man came and said, I'm sorry, they have to pay you the allowances, whatever is, and they stop production. The company goes bankrupt, like that, and they can't afford to run the factory anymore, and this is it. And this is what happens. But we went out of work for a while, and I started getting any job that was available.
Mm.
I worked for Malco. They were doing galvanizing pipes,
Mm.
and galvanizing pipes in a soldering irons and all this, and the fumes of the assets and everything.
Mm.
In the 2 weeks time, I was sick already, you know. And I said, that's not good for me.
Was it easy finding work?
I tell you what, it was a year, you lose in one job, the next day you go around and you find another job straight away. Someday you walk to the factory, yes, I want a job, okay, your name, straight away. No question who you are and what you know. They used to employ people like that, you know. You lose one job, then the next day you find another 2 jobs. And in fact, I used to work in Philips, and I had a part-time job in Stamina. The weekends I used to go with the band, play the drums. Sometimes Sunday I used to go in a milk bar and serve milkshakes, you know. Anything, it was available, you know, a lot of work.
But you worked 10 years at Philips, you worked 10 years at Sunbeam,
Stumbling,
so you had long runs,
yeah.
you had stable work.
I had stable work.
We done it one big mistake. George got to tell.
When I was with Philips, I was doing all right. Slowly, my honesty and my technical knowledge, you know, in electrical, in a year and a half, I was a supervisor. And they give me my own section with 24 women to supply them with the components and to do assembly, to tell them what to do. And I was a foreman over there. Every year, I was getting my bonus, my Christmas promotion for the next year, and I was doing beautiful. I was very happy. I was going to work with a tie for the first time in my life and a clean shave, in other words. After a few years' time, when the second kids came, Christina wasn't able to work anymore. And I said, Christine, you stay home and you raise the kids, and I'm going to work 2 or 3 jobs harder, you know, to get them around. And So we're doing all right. Somehow. All of a sudden, her relatives, the one they brought him in Australia, they went close to Christina and say, we'd like to help you. I've got a shop for sale next to me, and I would like to give it to you to run it, to get away from the factories. Another way, they want to sell the shop to us. It was like a time bomb, because the shop was broke, and they run it themselves, you know, until they sell it to someone. And Christina said to me, it's good because it's got a house at the back. We put a family, and wherever we get them from the shop. Yeah. So I said, all right. I decided to take the shop, but I said, I'm not going to leave my job. We take this shop and you run it. I'm going to help you every afternoon. It was a fish shop. So we moved there. I was still working for Philips. Every night when I was coming home, I used to clean the potatoes, pre-cook the potatoes, pre-cook the fish, to have them ready for the next day for Christine just to heat them and sell them. You know, I was doing whatever I could. But the shop wasn't doing any good. Peanuts. Can I have 10-cent chips or 5-cent chips? You know, these days.
You know, the old people of Australia,
The people, pensioners.
And we lost the house in the Kempsey.
I lost the house. I sold the house at Kempsey to buy the shop.
Death.
And the shop wasn't doing any good. I was still working Philips. And I was desperate for a decision, you know, for something, for help. What can I do? And I asked the company to give me 3 months leave so I can go to the shop and start reshovel the things, you know, and do whatever I can do if I can save the shop at least. And he says, they refused to give me the leave. Say, we need you, you know that very well. Your position, you know, we can't find anybody else at the moment, because it was already done. And I was up to here. And you know what I did? I did the stupid thing. I left the company without giving a proper notice.
You lost everything.
And I went to the shop. I said, what else can I do?
Very big mistake.
And the pie master comes the other day, he said, George, we can't give you anything because you didn't give a proper notice. And I lost 10 years service, 10 years super, and I lost
In the house.
in the house. And I went to the damn shop. I was waiting for someone to come to get the 10-cent chips.
This is no use. And had an accident.
And
Nearly killed himself, lost the car.
yeah, and then I decided to put a fresh fish in the window for the shop to pick up a bit. Here comes me. I didn't know anything about fish market. I bought a van, a Holden van, so I can put I go to the fish market. I didn't know what to do.
In Bexley. Can't sell fresh fish.
I found a Greek, he had a fish shop for many years. I said, John, he says to me, look, I know your position, I know your shop. I wanted to come to your shop one day to see what you're doing wrong. Because I got the same shop for many, many years. So he came at the shop, he saw the quality of the fish. He said, it's better than mine. You're not doing nothing wrong, but you got no people to buy things.
Yeah,
It's the area.
the area. All pensioner, all people are there.
I said, what about if I put a fresh
No,
fish?
Marikville, Bexley.
If I put a fresh fish, prawns or something like that. Because it was a pub close to there. They used to buy a few prawns for the beer. So he says, I'm going to buy the fish for myself and I give you some, because you can't buy that much quantity of the fish for that shop. So we used to buy one
Tub.
type of fish and we used to split them in two halves.
You separate it into half.
Yeah, I put a fresh fish. A small fillet, someone, you know. And the rest after 2 or 3 days, I have to make it a fillet and cook it. And sell him a cook. But he wasn't so good too, eh? So I lost everything, in other words, with that shop. And I used to borrow money from the bank, you know, to run the family in the shop, mortgage after mortgage. And one day I decided to sell it. No, there was no buyers for that shop. And I used to argue with
Where
them.
was this shop put in?
Bexley, Forest Road.
Forest Road, Bexley.
Then,
It was that area, you know. Well, it was a big mistake. I lost everything. I lost the home, I lost my job, I lost my long service, and I lost the shop too. And I was overdraft after. So I couldn't even sell it. There was no buyers for that shop. So I put a locker one day, bugger up. And I went with Christina to another place, rent place, you know, on the rent for all.
then work.
And then I
eat,
started
work.
working in Sambim. After Sambim I went Black and Decker, another 7 years. And I was still run with the band in the weekends, you know, wherever was available.
Tell me, with a band, when did you start playing?
With a band. With a band, I had a spark of music when I was a kid, you know. I was playing a little bit of guitar. I was playing a little bit with the drums, just muck around. And when I came here in Australia, everything was forgotten. Different life, different things. I forgot about music, I forgot about guitar and everything. After maybe 10 years after, 15 years, I met an old friend, guitar player,
Πώς λέγονταν?
Skedopoulos, Dennis. And we used to live at Markville, one opposite the other. And I had his playing guitar all the time, you know, when I was going home. And I approached him one day. I said to him, I played a bit of guitar, but I forgot it. I haven't. He said, I've got another guitar here. Slowly, he said, why don't we make a band? I said, all right, if we make a band, we have to make it a trio guitar, because I'm only playing guitar. Oh no, he said, you know what? You're going to play the drums, I'm going to play the guitar, and we are going to have some other friends to play the trumpet. And I went and bought a kit drum. And I went to Caravas brothers, if you remember.
Ah, Jimmy and
Yeah,
Μικελίνη.
yeah. Η Μετελινή.
Και ο πατέρας του ο Ποσειδώνας.
Poseidonas. Yeah.
Ah, that's
It was,
why
it was a family, musical
you
family.
call
musical family.
Posidona.
And they were very good teachers. They could teach you violin, piano, drums, guitar, anything you want. They had some audio, you know, some. So I went to Jimmy and He said, Jimmy said, so I had to make a group, you know, just, I don't know anything about. He said, oh, I said, no, you play guitar? I said, okay. He said, play the guitar first. I play the guitar. He said, the same rhythm you do in the guitar, the same thing you got to do in the drums. I start pedaling, you know, the boom, 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 and James, slowly, I became a drummer, and I played the drums.
Troublemaker.
And we make the first band, you know.
Peloponnese.
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 And we had a clarinet, a saxophone, we had the guitar, bass, drums, and accordion.
Was there a demand for bands?
Yes, it was demand for bands because the Greek communities, you know, they had communities everywhere, not like today where a Greek community only in Belmo, you know. They had many, the immigrants, you know, the newcomers, they used to get some from Ireland, some from Peloponnese, some from Athens, and they used to make a groups, you know, and they make the it was demand for bands, you know, for Greek bands. And we used to go in communities, you know.
Did you practice often? Did you have a night where you used to practice?
Yeah, every week.
Every week, yeah.
Every week?
Every week.
Whose house did you practice at?
Eh?
Σε ποιανού σπίτι παίζατε? Who did you practice? Where? Where did you practice?
Yeah.
In a garage.
He was one of the musicians. He had a big garage.
Ποιος?
O Danos, the accordion. And we used to go there, look at stuff in the garage. And some people there is screaming for next door, you know, but anyway. And we used to practice.
And what were your favourite songs? Like, what did you play? What was in your repertoire?
Look, we call ourselves the best band in Sydney, according to the people, because we had a big repertoire. Because we had musicians from Egypt. The singer was singing in 7 languages.
His name? Πώς λέγεται?
Nick Lamgis. He can speak Arabic and English and French, and Italian, and you just name it, you know. And that's why the band was very popular. Wherever they call us to play Latin America, we play Latin America. So wherever we went over there, where these people come from Athens. Today we play
Athenian music.
Athenian music. If we go from Gravara, you know, from Tripoli and everything, we play clarino, chamico, hopa, you know, just, and this is, we had a big repertoire, and we're good in this.
So the thing is, did you play at clubs? Did you play at halls? Did you play at parties? Where did you play?
Yes. In the matter of fact, because our band, it was the best band according to the people, you know, in Sydney, and we had a repertoire for every occasion and for every kind of music. They used to call us in the big parties and big weddings in Woolworth Hotel, in Hilton, Chevron, and we used to go high class, you know, with the boy tie there. I'll get you some.
No, κάτσε.
Να get μια φωτογραφία.
One second. Πες μου, tell me something. Do you remember one night where you thought, God, that was a fantastic performance? Do you remember one night that remains in your mind? What happened?
Many nights.
Many nights, because when I was going to play with the music, I was in a different world. I was leave behind the worries for a while, you know. The shop I lost, or the house I lost. I was leaving behind a lot of things, except my family, you know. My family always was in my mind.
Oh.
I wasn't doing this to please or to enjoy myself. Do you have to do that?
Yeah, how many years did you play in a band?
Ask me for the lonely nights.
Yeah. Yeah. Your question is I had how many good nights I had.
No, I'm saying
Christina had a lonely night, she said.
how many years did you play? How many years did you play?
Listen to CH.
Yeah. You're right. I applied for 15 years maybe.
So there was Peloponnese, Attiki,
And Acropolis.
and Acropolis.
Applied for 15 years.
Did you see the Greek community changing in those 15 years? Like when you first started playing, were the people a little bit more simpler? A little bit more, they expected other songs? Did they change? Did their tastes change? Did we as Greeks change over those 15 years?
Yes, Vasili, we changed a lot.
No,
And the people change attitude. And these days it was more brotherhood, friendship. We used to, like I said, we were at the North Sinai and we couldn't find many Greeks over there, and we are thirsty to go close to the Greeks, you know, and we came to Markville. And all the Greeks, all the immigrants, they were thirsty, you know, for getting together, to find friends, relatives or friendship, you know. And they used to make every week a good parties, you know. And
Why did you finish playing?
I still play.
No, what the band? You said 15 years, the band,
Yeah.
why did the band finish?
I finished because my hands and my legs, I couldn't go the speed anymore,
Ah, okay.
you know, and I couldn't stay to live Christine lonely nights
Oh,
forever.
After 15 years you thought,
And I quit the band, and
did the band continue without you?
yes, they did for extension for some years, you know, not for too long. And then after,
What was it like playing music to drunk Greeks? You like did they expect you to go on and on and on? Were there nights where you had to play longer and longer because they were having a good time? Like instead of
Yeah.
finishing at 1 o'clock, you finished at 3?
like I said, the Greeks immigrants at these days, they were thirsty, you know, just to get together, to talk the stories each other, you know, how is things here, how things there. And when they were together and start drinking, you know, oh, they went opa and opa every night, you know. They wanted to stay longer. They used to, we paid to play up to 12 o'clock, and they used to get extend to 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. And we used to get overtime for that, you know. And that's why Christine, she's all right, you know. Many times she was very lonely because many times I came 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially when we're in a weddings at Hilton's. And I have to get the drums through the lift, through the kitchens, and get them to the parking area and put them in a car and put them all together. By the time I traveled here, but from the time I finished, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you know. That's why I couldn't get any more, you know. Just but I missed music, and after that I take the guitar. I bought a guitar, and they start coming back to me. And now, as you see the photos there and there, I sing and I play solo once a month at least in the Elka. It's
Elka.
Elka, καλλιτέχνες.
Τραγουδάει,
Ναι. Με έχουν αγαπήσει, they love me, you know.
All the women.
They love the music I play.
George.
And they want me to go over there, you know, every time they make a fuss.